What's going on, guys? Kaiser here, and today we'll be taking a look at what I think is one of the best mics under $100, the Audio-Technica AT2020. I'll also be comparing it to one of the first mics that I used on the channel, the Blue Yeti, and the mic that I'm currently using, the Audio-Technica AT4040. With that said, let's get to it. This is the Audio-Technica AT2020, a $99 cardioid condenser XLR microphone. This mic has a frequency response of 20 to 20,000 hertz, an impedance of 100 ohms, and requires 48 volts of phantom power. Inside the box, you get this cool leatherette carrying bag, an adapter for mounting, and the mic. Now, just like the AT4040, this mic is made of metal and has a really solid build, and that's one of the things that attracted me to Audio-Technica. Their mics have a really premium look and feel. Now, this mic weighs in at 339 grams, so unlike the Blue Yeti, it's not so heavy that it causes my boom arm to drift down. In comparison to the AT4040, it is a tad bit shorter, and it doesn't have a low cut switch or a negative dB pad, but it still retains its large diaphragm. Now, it does have a cardioid polar pattern, so it will reduce some pickup of sound from the rear and the sides, but it's still a condenser mic, so it's really sensitive to sound. Here's how it sounds with me talking and typing on some mechanical blue switches. Now, if you don't have an interface already, you're going to need one with this mic. You can get this one in a bundle along with the AT2020 for $149. However, you'll still need to pick up an XLR cable and a stand. Alright, so now I'm going to let you hear some unprocessed and processed audio from these mics. I'll be using the Behringer UM2 interface with the AT2020 and the 4040. Now, of course, the Blue Yeti is a plug-and-play USB mic, so it doesn't require phantom power. So I'll be connecting it directly to my iMac. Now, I'd recommend listening to this audio with headphones on so you can better hear the difference. What you're listening to now is unprocessed audio from the Blue Yeti. What you're listening to now is unprocessed audio from the Audio-Technica AT4040. What you're listening to now is unprocessed audio from the Audio-Technica AT2020. What you're listening to now is post-processed audio from the Blue Yeti. What you're listening to now is processed audio from the Audio-Technica AT4040. What you're listening to now is post-processed audio from the Audio-Technica AT2020. Now, sound is subjective, and everyone has their own specific type of sound that they like. And to me, the Yeti sounds really hollow and thin compared to the AT2020. Now, that's not a big surprise because an XLR mic should sound better than a USB mic, but this only becomes a problem when the USB mic, which is $130, is only $30 cheaper than the AT2020 bundle with an XLR cable. So then you have to ask yourself, is this mic $30 better than the Yeti? And in my opinion, it definitely is. Now, I added the $300 AT4040 in the mix simply as a reference to see how good the AT2020 is. And although the 4040 is a bit warmer, smoother, and has better dynamic range, the two sound fairly similar. Now, you could argue that the AT4040 doesn't sound $200 better than the AT2020, and I'd agree, only if you're using it for YouTube. But if you're doing any professional work such as voiceovers or music, that's when you really start to hear and appreciate the difference. But for YouTube, the AT2020 is more than capable. It's the perfect balance of price and performance, and definitely worth adding to your setup if you're looking to take your audio to the next level.
I'm a little bit tired for listening to the sound of my tears. Every now and then I get a little bit nervous that the best of all the years I come by. Every now and then I get a little bit terrified, and then I see the look in your eyes. Every now and then I fall apart. Every now and then I fall apart. And I need you now, tonight. And I need you more than ever. And if you only hold me tight, we'll be holding on forever. And we only be on making it right, 'cause we never be wrong. Together we can take it till the end of the night. Your love is like a shadow on me all the time. Whoa, I don't know what to do when I'm always in the dark. We're living in a powder keg of giving us sparks. I really need you tonight. Forever's gonna start tonight. Forever's gonna start. Once upon a time I was falling in love, and now I'm only falling apart. There's nothing I can do to really please someone. eclipse on my heart. Total eclipse on my heart.
In the kitchen, my mouth is about 6 inches from the microphone. Computer is about 18 inches, the keyboard is, away. That's just the fact that the computer isn't flat, or the table isn't flat. Just normal touching noises. Hello, hello. Alright, let's try the built-in mic. Hello, same setup. Haven't moved. I'm not sure where the microphone is on this thing. I think it's right down here. So, yeah, just like typing is always the... well, there, the whole thing rattled because it's not flat. Click. Click, click.
So I've been using this AT2020 microphone for a couple years now, and I do have to say it is my favorite microphone that I've used. I've had Blue Yetis, I've had other condenser mics, I've had microphones that just hook up to my headphones, and this is just my favorite one. If you are going to get this is the setup that I would recommend. I would get a shock mount that goes onto a Rode arm. This is an Amazon Basic XLR cable hooked up to a Focusrite, and then you just hook this up to your computer and run a software like Voicemeeter Potato, something like that, and you'll have the best sounding microphone. I promise you, this thing is great. Definitely pick this up if you're a streamer or if you just want a nice sounding mic to play video games on.
Wings of magic soaring, floating quiet breeze. Blue, the shade of freedom lifts above the trees, and all the thoughts below just gently slip away. A cruise on velvet skies, a meditative day.